Welcome to the Hoquiam River. I've had some real bad luck ever since I drove into town. So I walked away from the house. My car is disabled because of a neglected tow company driver who didn't know what he was doing. I'm out here trying to make the best of my circumstances. Gonna test some of the riverbanks here for some flour gold or potentially larger pieces. Hopefully I'll find something to make it worth all the trouble I've been through to get out here. The things I do to escape my problems. I have no idea where I'm at. I'm just going to keep on going. There should be an inside bend approaching on my left through these trees. Hopefully I'll be able to reach the ground. Why does there have to be blackberry bushes along this area? I hate blackberries. They're bittersweet, delicious, but they are very, very sharp, pointy, and prickly. Don't grow them. They're very invasive. Hopefully this will take me to my destination. Get low. Some type of animal track. Very interesting. Nothing like I've seen before. This is the West Coast. Welcome to Washington. Muddy, wet soup. Rains every day. Ferns, that's pretty cool. That shows how wet this area is. Beautiful though. Can't say I've seen anything like that in a long, long time. Success. I made it to the riverbank. I thought I would never get out of that swampy area. It's beautiful. Wow, that's where I started, way down there. Worked my way up. Looking for some decent gravel deposits. Looks kind of muddy. Didn't really come prepared. Oh, it smells dreadful. There's the inside bend I was talking about, right up there. Here's a couple of Canadian geese. Nice to see they're not too afraid of me. I'm gonna approach slowly and walk past them. I'm not seeing any good spots to do a test pan. It may be just a botched adventure, an escape from all the drama and nonsense I've been through since the homeowner I lived with decided to relocate. I was gonna test some of the gravels right there. Just stepping down there's muddy soup. Too hazardous. I'm gonna try to find a crossing point. That gravel bar over there looks pretty decent. Not as muddy. There's also one over there. I think since the way the river is flowing, it would most likely deposit the heavies over there. Gonna try the upper banks. Should be flood gold. Might not be very big. Worth a try though. I need to watch where I step though. It's hazardous. Gooey, muddy, wet terrain like I've never seen before. So look at the river from the bridge. My crossing point to get to the other side if I can. May have to walk down that road a little ways. That hill was what I was more curious about. I'm gonna walk along it down the road until it meets up with the river and do some test panning there. I think that's part of the alluvial deposit from the glacial till Research tells me this area is an old ancient riverbed in a subduction zone. So if a tsunami hits, bye bye Hoquiam. Possibly 10 feet of water or more. Hopefully we never have a 9.0 earthquake somewhere off of the west coast or in Seattle itself. Nice view. Can't really see where to put my feet to get down there though. Continuing forward. If I cannot find an ideal spot by the river, I'll come back up and try to work my way in that little creek coming down. On second thought, this one looks easily more accessible and safer. Going down. Doesn't look like there's any place by the river to access it without stepping on somebody else's private property. I don't want to do that. I'm gonna scoop some gravel out of that culvert. This is a brand new pan. I did not even season it. Hopefully that will not affect the results. I do not have a classifier with me. I'm just going with it today. Now that's a full pan. Looks like this would be a perfect spot to process it. No gold in that pan. A little bit of indicator minerals. I'm gonna climb up and go a little bit further along the creek and see if I can find a better spot. It looks like I'm really far from society. There's just a main road right behind me. It's like this place has never been touched by man. The rain and the moisture just keeps it that way. See if I get here safely. Just want to see some Washington gold. I'm even walking with my pan upright with the concentrates from the previous location. Here's an inside bend. Might be a good spot to test right here. Same result. A little bit of indicator minerals. I can't really go further up. Too many native plants in the way. This is the only spot I've seen any big rocks in the creek. I'm gonna turn around and head back down. Almost guaranteed if you climbed those hills, you could wander endlessly and get lost very easily. There's that waterfall. My previous results were not ideal. I've got to find something, anything, even one microscopic speck. I'll test this area. I moved this metal grate out of the way. There was a bunch of bigger rocks stuck underneath it. That's a good find. My first piece of Washington float quartz. That's a keeper. Another dud. No values in that pan. I'm learning the ground. Thank you for all of your support and watching this video. I'm gonna head back home and feed the cat. Have an awesome day.